Yes, this is on and we're back. We're live.
We're live.
On another episode of the Pink Print Podcast.
Okay, so...
Oh my god,
we have some news.
Do we? What's the news?
Do you ever just feel like we started this podcast with an idea, but then it kind of changed into something else?
It really did. We definitely... Although the values have remained the same, you know, I think we're still like 100% the way we were before, but we're just like better.
Yeah.
We're the Pink Print 2.0.
We're still us.
Coming to you.
Live from Miami.
It's Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
It's Friday morning live.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's an accidental rebrand going on.
But nothing is accidental. We are so intentional.
Exactly. In Kabbalah, we learned there is no such thing as a coincidence.
There's no, and I think it's time. You know, we've been on this journey for 1.5 years. And when we started it, we had the intention of helping young fellow women like us. We wanted to have someone to look up to in this age range who was trying to go out in the world and girl boss it out. And then we quickly realized that, like, we don't have all the answers. And we must interview people because it's so nice, you know?
Right.
And then we started to do that. And now we're here sort of like, we must continue being intentional. So we need a little bit of a little bit of a glow up.
Yeah. So we're having a glow up. And what do you think made us realize that we needed to redefine our message?
Well, I feel like how I just said, I'm kidding. But how I just said, we like started off one way and then like we start interviewing people and that's great, cool. But like now where are we going with this? Is it still aligned? So it's like, okay, let's sit down and really define like who are we trying to target? What are we trying to do? And I just felt like it was time since we've been interviewing people for already like over 6 months. I want to say it's been 8 months already. No, it's been almost a year. Our first interview was in May. Mm-hmm. I think we recorded the first interview in April. Wow.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was. And also so we can keep helping you guys.
I feel like
we interviewed my mom and your dad last April, I think, and it came out in May.
Because I was going to say, I feel like it was after the Dear Media event we went to.
That was the first week of May.
Yeah. It was like May 2nd or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. And yeah. So that was the first step to rebranding.
It was.
We're in phase 2.
We're like, in phase 2 already. But I think that we just need to make sure that our messaging is really clear so that we can really help target and you guys know exactly what you're going to get when you come to an episode of the Pink Print Podcast or to our community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think have been the funniest and most chaotic recordings so far?
I feel like every recording is like a little chaotic. Just because I feel like every single time we have someone new, I like forget how to do everything, but it's not true. It's just like, oh my god, the cameras, and make sure they're charged and make sure everything's set up. And even though like we do this before the guest arrives, it still always feel like I'm like
nervous. Not
nervous, but like rushing to get it done to make sure everything's like perfect by the time they get here.
Yeah.
And so but they're not always chaotic. Like it's really not that big of a deal. And obviously like we know what we're doing at this point. The most chaotic one was probably not the actual recording, but after when we lost some data.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
And lost some video content, and then we couldn't release the episodes for a few months, and this happened to like 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah.
3 episodes.
And we couldn't release them, and so they were released, like we recorded them in the summer. They only came out like in October, and that was just like an annoyance that we had to deal with. We recovered it, and we were able to go. We were able to go live with them, and they were great episodes.
Yeah.
But I would say that was like the most quote unquote chaotic. What do you think?
I just remember like you and I recorded a solo once, and like the whole thing didn't record.
Oh, that was so sad.
And it was such a good episode. And then we tried to re-record, and we were like,
we just can't.
That wasn't the same.
Yeah, I think we did re-record it.
No, we did. We were like, that so wasn't as good as the first time.
What about the funniest one?
I think Jason Matuka is pretty funny.
You know what? I think he stands the test of time, and I really like that episode.
Yeah, that episode was really fun, really knowledgeable. Really
engaging.
Yeah. He's just funny. Like, he's talking, and then he's witty.
Jason, we love you. Come back on.
Yeah. What else can we talk to him about?
I know. No, we can definitely come up with things to talk about. You know, I sort of miss the days when it was just you and me in that pink chair
No, I know.
and
I
the
was just thinking
wallpaper in
about
the
it.
back. And now that we just remember that, it brought me back to those, because I feel like we definitely had some really good episodes there between you and me in the beginning.
know.
That I don't even remember which ones exactly they were, but I remember we'd finished recording. We were like, that was a good one.
Totally. But
And we
are
had
they?
good
Now, if we were to
points.
listen back now, I wonder. I still think, yeah.
No, I still think they were really good.
I still think too.
I think they were. But anyways, so now that we are on this refresh, we'll tell you exactly what the pink print, who we are, and what we want to deliver to you guys. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of pink?
Well, I want to say, I'll say that, but I'll also say what we're not, because we were talking about this the other day.
Tell us what we're not.
Like, our tagline before was real steps from real women.
Yes.
Which I loved that, because that's what we had when it was just you and I talking.
Correct.
Because that's what it is. That's exactly what that means. But now, not only do we like interview men,
Yes.
as well, because they do hold value. We love you guys. Like, we're interviewing men, and we now actually do have experts on the show. So it's not really real steps from real women. It's like real steps from experts and men as well, and expert women and
who are,
us.
Yeah, who are really leading in their businesses,
Yeah.
or in whatever that they are doing. So I think at its heart, the pink print, the PPP, is about helping ambitious women build a life that lasts, a life of success, of fulfillment, and longevity.
Yeah. I think right now, a lot of girls our age are skewed by influencer culture.
Absolutely.
Which we talk about this all the time. And it's not that there's something wrong with influencers. It's just like so in our face all the time that everyone's like, fuck it, I'm just going to be an influencer, because they think that they'll just be able to make 500K per post. Like, for some reason, they think that that's how that works. Obviously, everyone would be doing it and like actually cultivating that life. But at the end of the day, it's really only a handful of people that have fostered that success, and it's because of years that they've built this business.
Yeah.
It's not like, fuck it, I'm doing that too, TikTok. Like, no, that's not how it works,
Yeah.
obviously. So our brand is about longevity and building not only your business and your finances to a level where you have that longevity, but also your health, your wellness, your mental health. So just building a vessel that will last you until it doesn't.
And I think this is something that like really does stand true with who we both are. And like, we can't be the only ones in the world feeling like this or wanting to live a life like this, because, well, to go back to what you were saying about influencers, like, first of all, yeah, nothing happens overnight. There's no such thing as an overnight success or this quick fame and this instant gratification, which is exactly this world that we're living in. And it's like, for all those people who are not doing all of this, and that's what we see, because everything online, I know we've talked about this before, but everything online is like the best moments and these crazy lifestyles and trips to Saint-Tropez or St. Bart's, and you're like on a jet and like making 100K on a post, and just like, okay, but what about the rest of us?
Yeah.
You know, the rest of us,
Which we can do that. We do that too.
we can do that, and we can also be successful and lead a great life, and also create something now at this age where we really are, I feel like, in the building stages of our life, where we can build something for long-term success. And I think that you and I both, like, when we work out, like, sure, yeah, we want to be hot, but we also want to be healthy, and we also think like, oh my God, when I'm 80, I want to be walking and not lose my balance. Like, we really, like, everything I think we do in every facet is to try to be as most balanced as we can, and really just to build something that lasts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say this, I'll elaborate. I actually do think, contrary to popular belief, but there is a caveat, there are quick fixes for everything in this life. You can make money like this in 1 second. Is it sustainable? No. You can lose weight like this. Go take Ozempic. You'll lose the weight. Is it sustainable? Probably not. Like, there are quick fixes for everything, but it will only last you so long, which means it's a quick fix. It's literally
Correct.
a fix for that moment in time, and that's it. And that's not what you and I are about.
No, and that's why I think really, like, longevity and building a life really fully with fulfillment and success is that long term. It's like building a legacy almost, and you're doing that for yourself, and whatever that means for you, whether it's like you want to build a beautiful family and have a legacy through that, or it's through your business, or it's through just like living a life that you just feel so happy every single day, you know? But it's not just so instantly like, what can I get now? Or in your 20s, it's just like party, and just this lifestyle that, like, what about the future? And I think that looking forward and also enjoying now, it's just that beautiful beautiful balance, you know?
Yeah.
And creating something obviously with purpose and impact, because what's life without purpose, you know?
Yeah. Fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's who we are. We're focusing on longevity. And honestly, we have so many entrepreneurs on this podcast, which it's such a testament to everyone out there who does want to go and start their own business. Like, success doesn't happen overnight. So before you quit your job, like, know that. And actually, something I heard today, this is a random tip, but I was listening to Louise Hay, and she says that if you have a passion and you want to leave your job and you want to pursue this passion, etc., that you should do it on the side for now with your full-time job and work it on the weekends and after your full-time job, and see how much you really like it. See if you're actually going to do that work and put it in before you quit and whatever, because being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. And that's how you'll know if you can actually sustain that type of life. Because if you're building your business in the beginning, you'll have to work like many hours a day for at least 1 year, like at least.
Yeah. I do feel also it's like when you're building a side hustle, like absolutely you can be spending so many hours building it. But at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is me just making a quick judgment, but some people like will quit their job and it's like, oh yeah, now I'm doing this. And it's like, but what are you really doing every day?
Right.
Like, what are you really filling your entire day with? Are you really building this business every single day from like 9 till 9 p.m.? Like, maybe it's not even necessary, you know? So it's like, do keep your job and really see if you can get it up and running.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's like, are you really working on this all day long?
Because in the beginning, like...
And then people lose the momentum and it's just like, actually led to nothing. And it's like, and now you have...
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's also like a lot of people can't work without having the pressure eyes of somebody on them. So make sure you can do that.
Yeah, but we really want to give you guys some real life strategies to succeed in business and in life, and that's what we're going to continue trying to do through the interviews and the guests that we have, or even through solo episodes, give you guys that kind of value, show you guys role models and see how they built meaningful and long-lasting success. And I think we've had some people who really stand the test of time and have been in business for so long, people who are just starting off, so you can really see at every single stage. And there are so many common themes. Overnight success is like a huge one.
Yeah. And it's the same. Overnight success can be applied to anything. It can be applied to business and career. It can be applied to health and wellness. It can be applied to personal growth and lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Like
a relationship.
Yeah. Like sustainable success is just completely different. Like, just like you're not going to be able to build a business and be profitable within 1 week, like you're not going to be able to start going to the gym and have a six-pack by the end of the week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, off of the wellness and mindset, we want to give you guys tools for that as well, since we really do like those things, so you don't burn out along the way. Because also the idea, again, is not for you to just work and hustle and just be in the hustle culture and have no balance in your life, and you're not actually like living a life that you enjoy.
So let's give you guys some actionable tips and tools right now. What is one business tip you're going to give them, and one wellness tip?
One wellness tip, I think, is to give yourself some grace and not be so hard on yourself, because I think you need to know that you're doing your best and you're trying so hard, and do try hard, but at the same time beating yourself up when something doesn't go the right way, or if the market is just slow right now, or something like that's a little bit bigger than what's in your control is just affecting maybe your business or something. Don't take it too personally. It's okay if things are slow right now. Of course, still work hard, but like give yourself grace and don't just beat yourself up and be like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. So I feel like on a mental wellness, I would say don't be so harsh on yourself. A business tip, I would say from an entrepreneur standpoint, make sure to know your finances, and in the sense that I'm saying it specifically is like, for example, we make money commission based in real estate, and something that's like really silly but maybe not everyone thinks about is like your commission is on 100% your commission. You have to put X amount for your taxes, put that away in the beginning, because I think a lot of the people who make money, and actually it's so funny, I was listening to The Toast and Claudia was saying that
she said on Jay Shetty too.
Or was it on that? No, was it on Jay Shetty?
I think it was on Jay Shetty.
She was like, and I didn't even think about this like from her perspective in a completely different industry, which is podcasting, but I think of it from real estate. She's like, I was making money and no one told me the rules of this game, that like,
I think she meant for influencing, like brand deals,
whatever, influencing, commission based, whatever money she was making. And she's like, I didn't know that I had to put away for taxes. Nobody told me the rules, of course, because it's like a free market. You're just like posting and the brands are paying you, right? And she's like, and then I realized I had to pay the IRS, like, I don't know. And they came back and they she was owing like $100,000 in taxes. And that's something like so simple. And I think like, wow, I guess not everybody does know this. And like, I thank God had someone who told me to do that. So I think like one business tip is like, if you have your own business or you're an influencer or you're in real estate or anything commission based, just know that you need to put away for your taxes. That's so silly. And then also put away for your savings and like try to have at least like 3 to 6 months of reserves if you are in a job like that. Because I think that's something that I guess not everybody thinks about.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, big commission, beautiful, I made X amount of money. And then they want to go and spend it all. And you can't.
Yeah. No, I actually have friends who...
You got to pay Uncle Sam.
First of all, I have friends who are like surprised by this information. Like not by this information we're saying. Like they'll be at the end of the year, they're like, oh, I owe this much money. Like I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, like actually you should listen to this podcast. We've been over this before. But anyway, the other thing is some of my friends are just like, I don't care. I'm not doing that. And I'm like,
what do you mean you're not doing
what do you mean? So
I guess like people don't think about it. You know, not everyone does.
Yeah. It's not really a big deal. Like it's just what it is what it is. And if you oversave, like great. I oversave every year and then I go buy myself a bag with my extra money.
Like beautiful. Then you see actually when you speak to your accountant, when you actually do your tax returns, like then you see how much you actually owe. But it's better to oversave and be safe than be like, fuck, now I need to pay more in taxes, and either you don't have it because you spent it, and I would highly suggest don't do that, or now you need to like, I guess,
figure it out.
Yeah, take it out of your other savings account. What I would do is open another savings account where you have your tax savings. Don't even look at it. It's not your money.
That's what I do.
Don't even touch it. That's what I do. I'm like, I make money, boom, automatically 40% or whatever goes over there, and I don't see it. Not money. Bye.
Yeah. And
if I end up having to pay less in taxes, cool. Whatever's
totally
over, then I'll just send it back to myself. Then I can spend it or whatever.
Yeah. I think my business tip is like really to network, but not in the way you think. Like not in a networking event, not in a very serious environment. I actually will say that I think I'm kind of like this, like when I go to the gym or whatever, but from Emily, because she's also in this type of business where she needs to build clientele. She's a Pilates instructor, and whenever I hang out with her, like she's constantly meeting and talking to everybody she passes by. And so when I'm with her, I'm always meeting and talking to new people. And she is just like so good at this naturally, where, and this is the number one tip in sales, I would say, is like always remember someone's name. So like when you meet someone, make sure you tell them your name, remember their name. What are you laughing about?
No, I'm just thinking like when we go to the Kabbalah Center, it is so hard to remember everybody's name, and I have a great memory, and sometimes it's just like,
I think that when we go to the Kabbalah Center, it's like it's really late at night and you're kind of done with the day and you don't, you know.
And like I know the people there, so I talk to them, I just like don't know their name.
Yeah.
Which is,
you know, some people's names.
No, I do, but I'm just saying like sometimes it's hard to remember.
Also, you're in so many different classes. It's not like one class, it's the same people every week. You go to like 1, 2, 3 different people every week, whatever. Anyway, well, you're good at that.
I'm good at it. I'm just thinking like in some scenarios it's really hard to remember everybody's names.
Yeah. So anyway, literally just be walking around and introduce yourself to people, make yourself known, and you never know what it might lead to. This literally happened to me the other day, and now I might be making a deal out of some random person I met on the street in Sunset Harbor. So it's really important to do that and just to talk to a lot of people. You never know. By the way, not with the intention of wanting to get something out of them. Just like you never know people's stories, like, and then like something beautiful naturally can occur. I
think the best way to network is when you're genuinely trying to get to know someone. Like, yeah, maybe you don't like really care to like get to know them, but like, I mean, I think you and I do though. Like, not that we like need their whole life story, but we're like, oh my god, like, hey, like it's like nice to meet new people. Like that exchange is so nice.
Yeah.
And when you're genuinely interested in someone else and like asking about them, not just talking about yourself, but you know their name, what do they do, then you're like building an actual relationship that I think is the best form of networking. I think like sometimes even like certain work events, it's like so like what can you do for me, what can I do for you, like we're all here to work, and it's like that kind of networking is like, and then people like inflate a lot of like what they do.
I know.
And
that's why I say not in a serious environment.
And I agree with that. I think that that's like the best way to network is when it's more genuine and you're genuinely interested in like just making a connection with someone, and then beautiful something comes out of it, rather than like wanting to already like be like, oh, I want business out of you.
100%.
It also feels fake. I don't know.
It does. It absolutely does.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I agree with you 100%.
So that's my business tip: networking, talking to people. My wellness tips, I kind of have two. And number one for me right now, my number one wellness tool right now is acupuncture.
Oh, okay.
And just like Chinese medicine in general, I think. I've been doing really well with it. And it's actually really just good for your nervous system. I think actually the nervous system right now is having its moments and people are trying to figure it out. So it's helped me just stay like really calm. And also, I don't know, it's like Mercury's in retrograde and like all these crazy things are happening, whatever. I'm not going to like affirm that they're happening to me, but it's just a thing that happens during Mercury in retrograde. And I think in the past I would be like so stressed or anxious, and I'm kind of just like, whatever, like genuinely like whatever, like who cares, you know? And number two, we touched on this, but I think don't take anything personal has like changed my life. Like reading the 4 agreements really, and like analyzing them and actually putting them into practice has absolutely changed my life. Because it's like nothing will ever bother you again. Seriously.
But like it shouldn't, because it's really not personal.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. But it's easier said than done. I think when you're actually putting it into practice, like I'll have to say this example, and I hope my boyfriend won't even listen to this. So don't
worry, he's on our target.
No, he's not. He was talking about this man he networked with in the past, and he was just following up with him just to maintain the connection and be nice and ask him how this man's business was doing. And the guy never responded to my boyfriend. So my boyfriend's calling me. He's like, did I do something wrong? Blah, blah, blah. And I go, don't take it personal. First of all, how many times have you gotten a text while you're driving? I'll respond to that later. Oh, and he read the message. I'm like, okay, but it's like an older man. He has his read receipts on. He could have been driving. He could have been walking into a meeting, clicked to open his phone by accident. Like, there's just, again, of course, the other agreement is don't make assumptions. I'm like assuming all these random scenarios. But like, you just have no idea. Like, obviously, whatever. And then I go, don't take it personal. You have no idea. And he goes, well, what if it is personal? What if he doesn't like me? Okay. I love that answer even more, because then it's like, okay, when someone doesn't like you, it has all to do with them and nothing to do with you. So you still can't take it personal. like
you're like, exactly to my point.
Even like for me, like, okay, who someone who bothers me, who is it? Okay. It's like, why do they bother me? Because they trigger things inside of me that I need to work on. Not because they bother me because it's them. At the end of the day, it all comes back to you. So choose happy.
Choose happy.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, who's your favorite role model for longevity in this life?
Who's my favorite role model for longevity?
Or who aligns with our brand?
You know, this is just the first person that comes to mind. Although I won't say she. No. Okay. My mom.
Okay.
And I'm going to say her just because, I didn't have a celebrity or anyone top of mind.
Meaningful, long-lasting success.
Meaningful, long-lasting success. And I say that because she's a woman who started a business 25 years ago in real estate, has honestly been in the same business, although has evolved as she's needed to. When the markets were down, she did what she had to do, and she evolved in the sense that like she started to do remodeling and like not construction super heavy, but she was like, I had to do something to pay the bills, so I started helping people like with their floors and their closets and their kitchens, because that's what they would ask me to do, and like I would help, and then she started to do property like she was just always evolving, but all within the same focus, which I think is so beautiful, because I think sometimes people are just like, right now is a bad moment, bad time in the market. In this example, real estate, it's like, I'm just gonna, whatever, do something else. But it's like, really, once you go through these experiences, it's like, that's when really you become a boss, because it's like, I've been through it all and I've evolved and I've really done it all. So she's, in her work, been very consistent and therefore has longevity. But she's also someone who works out 6 times a week, like takes care of her health, eats super whole natural foods, takes time to meditate and go out to the sun first thing in the morning, and all these things that I still don't do for myself. But I see like she really tries to be balanced, and she's really been someone in my life who's like, make a checklist, like not anymore, but before she'd make a checklist, like make sure that you're like drinking enough water and eating this and working out, and also like taking time to like journal or like write down. She told me this week, she's like, write down your goals. When you write them down, it's better than if you're just like thinking about it. So it's like a very wholesome approach to life. Well, now obviously she's not perfect, but she's someone who I think now I see is not even 50 yet, but is close to 50.
She's accomplished so much.
Has not only accomplished so much, but is at a level where it's like now she's accomplishing even more and has like the energy for it. And I see like her even building a real true legacy now up until she's, I don't know, 80 or more. Like, you know, and she's still feeling so excited and invigorated for life.
Yeah.
And she's like, let's say midlife.
Yeah.
You know, like almost 50. And it's like she's had so much time, but she still has so much more to accomplish. And I just, like, to me, that is like a full life.
Yeah.
You know?
That was a beautiful answer, and I agree with all of that. I was thinking celebrities in my head.
No, I just didn't think of one. And then I was the first person to not waste too much time. That's what I said.
I will agree with my dad accomplishing all the same meaningful, long-lasting success and just the way he lives his life.
He really,
But I'm not going to talk about him right now. So, but somebody that came to mind, the first person that came to my mind was Gwyneth Paltrow. Because
while you talk, I'm going to try to think of a celebrity that I can relate to. Oh, that's great. You see, this is why we need each other.
Who cares about celebrities? But like, you know, I was just thinking about their, you know. Gwyneth Paltrow is number one because she's been famous for so long.
Yeah,
like, like literally just keeps on growing as a person. Started with acting, and like in my head, not in my head, this is facts. She's the original like wellness influencer.
She is totally with Goop.
She started Goop, and like she started giving everybody all these amazing tools and blogs and newsletters and now products. I think she's pretty phenomenal, and now she's kind of old, right? Like
she's probably like 47.
Really?
Maybe 50.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, maybe 50, but whatever. She's still like
because
young,
she's been acting since 16.
Yes.
So it's a long time to like have a career. But, you know, and now she's just like so in the weeds of like gardening, and like everybody wants to be like her and drink the bone broth and do this, and she's like the epitome of health to a lot of people. So I think she's a great example. The other person who's just taken it like fucking magnum.
Who are you gonna say? Because now I thought of one.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh my god, that's what I was gonna say.
So okay, you can say what you think about her. I'll also say.
No, I was gonna say Kim, and then I was like, you know what? Then also like Chris, because
but like also both of them on the health and wellness aspect. I don't know what the scale is that they're on, but
I don't know the scale that they're on in the health and wellness. But let's think longevity. There's some people. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, I guess ours is a little different because we're still trying to maintain like a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Not that their life is not balanced, but like,
well, we just don't know.
Very different, yeah. But I think people who have reinvented themselves, and I think that's part of longevity, is someone who's always trying to stay not only relevant, but like always trying to bring value. And I know that like, sure, you can be like, their show is not valuable, but like it is. People watch it.
Well,
like,
I'm not even thinking the show. Like,
but it's like they started off with they started off with Dash, and then you go to like a show, and it's like from the show you create something else, and then from there Kim has created, I don't know, she had 1 million perfumes, and then I don't know what she did before Skims, but Skims popped off, and then Skin, and then now she's doing Nike and Skims, and it's like everything she does, she does it
NBA
better.
Sponsor, and private equity.
Her marketing for Skims is actually insane.
The speed at which those people better be paid overtime.
No, because
White Lotus comes out, Patrick Schwarzenegger wedding shop.
When Alex Cooper was getting married, Alex Cooper wedding shop. I was like, oh my god, she knows these things before they happen.
It's literally
the timing is insane.
Because she has to.
And obviously, I mean, Kim is like midlife, so I also think that she's like then evolved to a mom, and then you see like her kids, and you see the way she's doing that. But Chris too, I would say that she like started off as a mom, and all she wanted to be was a mom, and then she saw this opportunity, and she took it, and she like managed all of her daughters, and like look at this legacy that honestly, not that she created alone. Obviously, each of her daughters had to participate in all of these businesses, but like she's the head honcho in all of them.
Yeah,
she's on top of all of those, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least overseeing a little bit. So I think that that's so impressive that she's like, what, 70 now?
Yeah.
And like, she really,
I think like 72.
built, I don't know, something great. And not even like for herself. Like, it's honestly, I'm sure she's like a tough lady, but like built something like for her, like with her daughters. That's actually really nice too.
It's all for her daughters.
It's all for her daughters or for her son, and like, she's making sure that they're building a business, which that business is then gonna like be for their daughters and the grandkids. Like, she's really like not doing it for herself. Of course, she's like making her 10% management fee, like as she fucking should.
Yeah.
But it's like she's really helping them do their dreams.
Yeah.
And I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, it is. I mean, I don't fucking care what anyone says. I love the Kardashians.
I love
like
them.
Say what you will. Those motherfuckers are hard workers.
They really are, and they...
At least Kim is. I mean, I think they all are, but Kim is truly like an anomaly.
No, Kim is
in this
like
life.
crazy. Like she is... I'm like, I want to see that girl's astrological chart, because I'm just like, what do you have in there that there is something in you that she like works so hard and just like, I don't know, it's crazy. I'm really curious.
But you know what? You know, no, this isn't like I'm not bashing her. I just said how much I love her. But you really just can't have it all. Like, she doesn't have like a love life. She doesn't have a supportive partner.
No.
Anyway.
But, you know, there's
I think
phases in life.
No, there's phases in life, but also like that's what happens when you live an extreme lifestyle. And I think she's an extreme.
Absolutely. She's an extreme example.
Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can be extreme at something, but then it's going to, at what cost?
Absolutely.
So this is clearly the life she wants to be leading, because that's what she chooses, and that's amazing. But I think we should, like, if we're at center and we're in balance, like, it's also okay, you know?
Absolutely.
You don't need to be like an extreme entrepreneur like that, because then it's you're missing out on
also
other
like that's a
aspects.
crazy lifestyle, and like she has the resources to be like flying from one place to the next to like go to the Oscars or whatever, to go to the Met, and then like
to the Met to the
roast, to then like like do a Skims campaign. Like, okay, like most of us mortals will, you know, not be doing that crazy thing. That's an extreme example, but
anyway, so now some things that we've learned, and I do want to talk about this. What do you think about the quote, "If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life"? I think that's bullshit.
I wasn't gonna say it's bullshit, but I was gonna say I don't think it's entirely true.
Yeah.
I think that like if you love what you do, you're still not enjoying every second of it. Like there's times honestly where we're editing an episode and I'm just like, sure, I love the podcast. This is not my favorite part at all. And it takes time. And every single time we're uploading an episode and it takes fucking forever and the Wi-Fi decides to not work. And then sometimes like Spotify will just like delete. And then I like re-upload it and it takes an stupid example, but I'm saying like those are like the tedious little things that we have to do to like put this together, for example. And like it's not fun. Yeah. But like I still overall like love the podcast, but it does feel like work.
100%. I mean, I even think about whatever, I'll talk about my dad. But like when you're building a business of a certain magnitude, like you're gonna get sued, like things are gonna happen.
Absolutely.
It's like that's gonna be annoying. Like it's not like every day like la la la, stretch my arms out, like let's go to work.
Yeah.
And same with, I think about, I don't know why, Tosh Oakley and Devin Brugman with Monday Swimwear. Like it's because their life seems so amazing, which their life is amazing, but they like are always traveling to these places and filming these shoots, and it's like, okay, but that's not what they do every single day, you know? That's like maybe like a week here, then they're a week in the office, like crunching the numbers.
Like, that's a lot. That's a very specific lifestyle as well, where you literally like, how do you work out?
I don't even know.
Like I'm sure they do, but I'm just saying in my head, I'm just like, whoa, like that's also comes with a whole other thing.
Exactly. So you're gonna be working no matter what. It just depends on how like obsessed you are with your work.
I was gonna say, I think like what really makes that quote is like that you still just love it so much that it outweighs those moments that you're like, ugh, this is annoying, but like I'm willing to do it because I love it so much.
Yeah.
But also, like, how do you know you love it so much? Like, you have to try. You got to do it. You know, you can't just be like, I don't love it after a week or a month. You know, I think you really need to like put in like a year or two. Yeah. Before you like give up.
Yeah. All right, let's make this fun. We're gonna do some pink print confessions, rapid fire style. We'll each answer, but a money mistake you will never make again. You go first.
A money mistake I will never make again. I have one that comes to mind, but I feel like there's a few. But one thing I will say is, okay, besides like for your personal house, investing in furniture like for an office space, I think is the biggest waste of money. And I think it looks really nice, but I just think it's a waste. And another thing that I'll say is I think an office is a waste of the space sometimes. I like enjoy it, but I think that when you are on the other side, if not everyone is using one, or you really don't have like a lot of people I think need to be using an office in order for it to make sense. Even if you're like, oh, come to the office, and I know like a lot of businesses are like, come back, and like I agree, but I think these are also like big corporations where you need people back. I don't think like you need an office. That was just like a money mistake that I think is not always necessary. Just to go off of that,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe people are like, I need an office. I'm building my business and I need a space now. Do you really think about it? Think about it. Do you really need to go through getting a rent and like building it out and doing all that for like 3 employees? I really had somebody tell me this morning, and it's like, I don't know if you need that, you know, like maybe some people are just like, I will do this when my business will get better, when I have an office. I will have more clients when I have a space, because I'll feel more established. Like maybe that's how you will feel like you are more legitimate. But I don't think so. I don't think like that's what defines that you are better in business or something. Yeah. I'll say it to those people who think that they need something in office.
Yeah, like stop blaming the external factors.
Yeah, like you don't need one. You can have it, and it's just like no one will go and your employees will go, sure. But it's just like, I don't think that's what's going to make or break your business.
Absolutely.
Unless you're like a brick and mortar, obviously, like then that's different.
No, yeah, of course. A money mistake. I mean, I do want to talk about the taxes thing.
Yes.
Although I never made that mistake. I just think it's really important.
It's really important.
Like you just really need to put like you need to save money for your taxes. Like when you get paid, don't even look at that. Just like immediately put away whatever percent like what tax bracket you're in. And honestly do over whatever you think.
I do over my tax bracket, because at the end of the day, like when you're commission based, like you don't really know how much you're gonna make. So it's like, what if you end up making like more than you thought, and then it takes you to the next bracket? Like you don't really know which bracket you'll fall into until the next year, to be honest. Yeah. So just put 40%. The highest is 30%. Yeah. Put 40.
Also,
it's better to oversave.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, this isn't I mean, we've all made this mistake. So yeah, you know what? This is a good one. Like when you're out and about and you're shopping, it's like, do you really need that? Like sometimes I used to do this all the time. I'm in Zara, $100 here, $100 here. But then it's like, okay, cool. I spent $900 this month going to Zara 9 times this month. You know what I mean? Like that okay, that was an exaggeration. But you know what I mean? It's like, oh, whatever, these pants are $50. Let me just get them. Like, but then you kind of do that way more often. Then it actually really adds up. So before you're buying something, like I think the smaller purchases are more the problem. So before you buy something small, really like ask yourself, like, do I actually need this? Because I was like, I'm at Zara, I'm going to buy another pair of wide leg jeans. I have 50 pairs of wide leg jeans in my closet. Like, why do I need this pair? Fine, unless I get rid of all my other pairs, then I can go buy this pair.
Yeah.
So the smaller purchases, I think, kill
just so
me
since we're on the money topic quickly, like, not that this is a mistake that I've made, but I think
not that I was saying this is rapid fire.
No, oh fuck, sorry. No, now that we're on the money thing, it's just like prioritize like your finances, and like if you have a trip or you have a wedding and honestly it doesn't fit in and it doesn't fit into like your finances this year, like don't go. Like there's no need to be spending that money to go to that batch, to go to that wedding. Like there's no need. And if someone else doesn't get it, that's okay, especially if this person's like not close to you. Like I would rather save my money and again build for my future and save that to like invest to like buy a property or just invest it if you want to invest in the market, whatever it is that's going to build your future, rather than being like, oh, but I'm going to miss that on this weekend. Like I would say, is this weekend really good? Like you're going to have a million other weekends to have fun. Absolutely. You know? And I see some people that are just like traveling so much or just doing all these things, and I'm like, are you even thinking of your future, or are you just like spending for the now? Yeah. You know? And it's just, I don't know, like just make sure that if you know you can do it, that's fine. But if you are in a certain situation, like why? Yeah, absolutely. Are you doing that? Like think of yourself, you know? Yeah. Okay, now we'll go back to quick fire. One habit that really changed your life.
One habit that really changed my life?
That actually changed your life.
This is an interesting habit because it's broad, but getting out of your comfort zone. Okay. I think whenever you get out of your comfort zone, you really teach yourself like, holy shit, like I can do this. And then you kind of go back and think about like all the other things you can actually do. Random example is like me starting to run. Like I remember like running a mile used to be like fucking hard. And now like I ran 4 the other day and it's like, whoa, like I never thought I'd be able to do that. So, and another one is even just like walking to the grocery store and walking back with the bags. It's fucking annoying, but it's like sometimes you really just like need to get out of your comfort zone and not be so like stagnant to your environment, I think. Cool. So that changed my life. It honestly builds confidence.
Yes. Love getting out of your comfort zone. I think one habit, it's not a habit, one tool that has actually changed my life is my Whoop. And I think that has led to habit changes because I put these goals on my Whoop. And like, I don't know why. Like, why did I need the Whoop? I just do. But I'm obsessed with looking at the app and like looking at like how many steps I did. So I put goals for myself for the week. So I'm like, I need to hit 10,000 steps a day. And like before it was hard to track if I was actually doing that. Yeah, of course. But now that I can, I'm like, well, now I want to hit them. And if I don't, I'm like, oh, well, I feel bad that I didn't hit my at least 10,000 steps. Not feel bad, but like, I want to hit that goal.
Yeah.
And so that's led to habits that have actually changed my life because I'm actually doing them, you know? The other one's like, I want to sleep 8 hours a night at least. So I see if I'm actually hitting that when I'm sleeping. The other one's like, I want to move at least 5 times a week. And I have been, because at least like now I'm looking at the app and it's so accurate that I'm not just like putting my workouts like on ClassPass or on my app, on my calendar, you know? Like I'm looking at this every single week, and it's like, it's a good accountability tool. So I look back, so I actually feel like movement wise, sleep wise, I've been changing my habits because I've been keeping myself accountable through my whoop.
I love that.
Okay. A finance tip we swear by. Wow, we did a lot with finance.
Yeah. Like, you know, our finance tip, it's going to be about the taxes, but I'll say this because, okay, let's do finance tip integrated with worst business advice ever received. I have met a real estate agent that says that she's literally never budgeted anything in her life before, which...
Oh, that's really crazy.
I think that's so juvenile and crazy. And along with that, people that say, like, oh, it's like if they buy a purchase that they know they shouldn't have bought, they're like, money comes and goes, it's fine. Like, that is you disrespecting the energy of money.
I absolutely agree. To go off that, I think the finance tip is like, you have to know how much you spend. Pay for a $25, $30 QuickBooks subscription and do your budgeting. Just know what you spend. Like, if do you spend $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000? I don't care what it is. You need to know how much you spend and where your money is going. And that way you can control it and you can fix it. I think that's a huge finance tip. And just one more thing is like, you should have some reserves. Like, if you know that you spend then $5,000 a month, make sure that you at least have $15,000 in savings to cover 3 months of expenses if needed. God forbid shit hits a fan, you lose your job, something happens, you have that. Worst advice I've ever received, I'm gonna say whatever, the money comes and goes. I hate that saying.
Yeah,
I literally hate that because it's just like what I love to say that someone has told us before is money flows to me from all sources, both known and unknown. So I like to tell myself money flows to me from all sources. And the crazy thing is, like, quite literally, I will say that to myself, affirm that, and I'll go on my like email and I'll be like, oh, American Airlines, you have a $300 voucher. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I could quite literally get a flight to New York now for free. And it's so silly, but it's like, there we go. Or it's just like, or our friend will be like, oh, come and do a shoot for the design dish, like the $100. Like, not that it's like big money, but it's just like, wow, it's like literally flowing from like the most random sources, and it's just like flowing to me. Money does not come and go. Money stays for me. And it grows.
All right, we will wrap it up here because I like this last question, and it's, if we could give our 21-year-old selves one piece of advice, what would it be? You go first.
Me go first.
Yeah.
One tip of advice is have fun, enjoy, and I mean, I guess time goes by really fast, so just have fun. Don't be so hard on yourself. Love yourself and just like vibe, you know? Like, work hard, but also play hard.
At 21, like, how hard are we really working? Still in college, but yeah.
I was working hard. I was working.
You weren't in college, but yeah.
Correct. I mean, okay, I guess if you're in college, enjoy it, have fun, because when you see in the blink of an eye, you're 26, I'm turning 26, like, I feel like I'm still 22.
I know. I
really don't know where 4 years am, because I actually think I'm 22 in my mind.
It's crazy.
So have fun, enjoy it, because like those years are literally never coming back.
I think that's like mine too. And also at that age, I remember being so worried about like getting a job after college, and like I would just tell myself, like, you're gonna be okay, like
you're gonna be fine, and you're fine. Yeah, tell yourself that
you're gonna be okay.
Okay, you guys.
So I mean, that's about it. Like, if you're ready for success, longevity, and sustainability in this life, keep tuning in, because we are not stopping, and we're going to continue to provide these tools. And I think how we should actually end this is each of us give homework.
Absolutely.
So what is your
actionable tip or tool for our listeners today that your future self will thank you for? I think that you should sit down with yourself and really reevaluate your life and see where you are, where do you want to go, and just write down your goals. If you don't already, like, do you want to buy a house this year? Do you want to graduate from your master's program? What is it you want to do? Make sure that you're on track. Think macro, and then you can work your way micro.
My tool is to stop complaining. I think everybody needs to stop complaining. Like, when you walk into a room,
Jesus, stop attacking me.
It's not you. And you just like start complaining about something. Like, number one, how do you feel after you complain? Horrible. Number 2, how does everyone else that's in that room feel? Horrible. You're like sucking the good energy from the room, and whatever you're focusing on is like where your energy is going to go. And this goes, I love this example. Like if you say like, oh my God, I've seen so many red cars today. Like you're going to continue to see red cars because that's what your focus is on. And it's the same thing with anything like positive. It's all about affirmations, I guess, at the end of the day. But even recently, this is actually part of my Lent journey, the complaining, but also just like self-talk. Like if I ever catch myself going into negative self-talk, I literally pause and start saying every positive affirmation about myself that I can possibly think of. And guess what? That's what I start to focus on, not whatever bullshit was just entering my head. And this can go for anything, go body, money, career, business, health, gym, anything. Even in the beginning of my running journey, LOL, like journey, but I would be like, oh my God, I'm so bad at running. I'm so bad at running. What's going to happen the next time I go on a run?
You're going to have a bad time.
And the second that I get out there and I'm like struggling and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm reaffirming that I'm a bad runner. Like, no, how about you're getting out of your comfort zone. You have such strong legs that can even get you out here to go on this run. You're looking at the water. You're listening to your favorite playlist. You're breathing. You can feel your lungs. You can feel your heartbeat. You can feel the blood pumping through your body. So many positive things to say rather than, oh, I suck at running.
Honestly, I'm that bitch. I'll be in the gym and I'm like, you're strong.
Yes.
You're powerful.
Yes.
You are an athlete. And I'll be like, yeah.
Want to know where I learned that, by the
Where?
way? I think Soul Cycle. Like when shit gets tough, I'm like, you're an athlete renegade warrior. You're an athlete renegade warrior. And fuck yeah, Soul Cycle.
Exactly.
Honestly. By the way, my favorite thing is like, let's say you're sprinting for 30 seconds. In my head, you can do anything for 30 seconds. You can do anything for 30 seconds.
It feels like 30 minutes, but yeah.
But that's my favorite. Even 2 minutes, you can do anything for 2 minutes. Like,
you could.
So just stop complaining and fucking be like the baddest bitch in there. And if you're not going to tell yourself that you are, then who is?
You are.
Okay, fine, I will. People pleaser. No. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to this episode. We're so excited for this rebrand, and we're just so excited to continue to share all these tools, actionable steps, and love that we have for our listeners. So I bless this podcast with love, and I bless our listeners with love.
All right, we love you. Ciao, bye.
Ciao, bye.